Okay, so then CW, formerly of the
WB.
WB, they made another bad show
The song.
that
no
nobody
one will
would see.
see.
It was they were making a prequel series called Themyscira, the island of the Amazonians, called Amazon.
So basically, you just have to find out what town the superheroes come from
At least
and name it the name of the town.
Smallville had Clark Kent in it. I don't
Yeah.
understand why anybody wants to like Gotham's like it's Gotham before Batman. It's like who the cares?
Yeah,
Yeah.
like no one gives a shit.
I
It's
watched.
Metropolis, but without Superman. It's just people living their lives working at a
called,
newspaper.
That's called
It's Newsroom. Newsroom is a prequel to Superman.
It's like okay, let's do Spider-Man before Spider-Man. So just New York.
So just
New York.
just Queens.
Just Queen. Yeah.
Just a movie that takes place in Queens.
Yo, I'm working nights. Come on, dude.
That's not your car. That's his car.
What the hell is going on?
That's not your car.
Every day with these damn alarms.
It's called Ghostbusters.
It's called Taxi Driver.
It's called Every Movie Ever Made in New York.
Yeah, it's called every Woody Allen movie.
Annie Hall. It was a prequel to Spider-Man. You're welcome.
There's a spider in the bathroom.
Don't worry.
Making stuff is hard, especially in the entertainment world when there are millions of dollars on the line. And we are going to talk about these disastrous, never-ending, and sometimes dangerous productions. This is The Shit Show.
Hello, everyone. My name is Ian, and I am joined by Ray
Hello.
and Clint.
Hey.
Stop. Are you stealing my thing? That was my thing. Fuck you, Clint.
And this is The Shit Show. I gave you first billing because this Christmas Day marks the release of Wonder Woman 1984.
Oh, I get
From
first
Women
billing
First.
on the woman episode? Thanks.
Had to throw you.
Thanks, Ian.
Thanks.
I have no part in this.
I'm not even involved. Thanks to COVID, Wonder Woman 1984, the sequel, it was a movie that was originally set for June, then moved to August, then October, then December, and now they're just releasing it worldwide in theaters where available, but also HBO Max at the same time.
I'm so glad my parents got HBO Max.
Right? Well, on top of that, at the time of recording yesterday, Warner Brothers announced, because of the uncertainty of ever stepping into a theater again, their entire 2021 slate of films will do the exact same thing.
Holy shit. Their whole next year of all movies?
That is crazy. Say goodbye to movie theaters, guys.
Yeah.
It's kind of a scary, kind of weird.
That's really bleak because I feel like Warner Brothers knows something we don't know. Like,
I mean, they were the ones
they're just
testing
like,
the waters
"You guys,
with Tenet.
We're never going back to the movies again. Sorry, I hate to break it to you.
Instead of sitting there keep pushing the release date, if they can make money by getting subscriptions,
Yeah.
keep some people employed.
Get those subs.
Yeah, it's pretty crazy.
So what movies
Get
does
those subs. It's not a goddamn YouTube channel.
like and subscribe?
By the
It
way,
is now.
subscribe to
It is
YouTube.
now.
By the way, subscribe to The Shit Show on
It was a
YouTube.
shit show on YouTube. We also will be releasing all of Warner Brothers 2021 slate of movies on our YouTube channel. So
Yeah, subscribe to
like
that.
and subscribe.
Hit that bell notification. Ming.
What movies does that include?
Matrix 4, Godzilla versus King Kong,
The new Dune.
Suicide Squad. Yeah, it's a hefty list.
Wow.
The new Space Jam.
What?
All right, let's not go down that road.
No, sorry.
So-
This is now about Space Jam. We have to talk about this.
No.
Okay, fine. Damn it.
So to celebrate Wonder Woman finally arriving, let's take another look back at one of my previous What the Fuck Happened to This Movie videos. And we're going to talk about the decades of troubles it took to finally get the first Wonder Woman movie to the big screen. Then take a deep dive into the endless rotting hole of humanity that is the comment section of that video. Sound good?
YouTube comments.
Now, if you two will remember, for Back to the Future, I wore Marty McFly's hat to the recording. into the Gremlins, I wore my Indiana Jones hat movie.
Mm-hmm.
I am wearing my Wonder Woman underwear.
I don't believe you. Let's see it.
Okay, fine. Clint's back in his... There we go. Ready? I could just probably just do
that's
it.
just his penis.
It's a thong. Oh, very nice.
That's legit.
Great thong.
And a great
you
ass.
didn't have to show us your penis at the same
Great
time.
ass.
That's the wonder part.
That's the wonder
I thought
part.
that was the woman part.
Never before did I ever think I would talk about my own penis on a podcast.
Until now.
This is a shit show.
It's adequate.
Yeah. Can confirm for the listeners, there was indeed Wonder Woman underwear being worn.
Yeah, I wore it specifically for this recording for you two.
Awesome.
I dressed appropriately.
So were you
I've
always
seen
planning
things.
on showing us your underwear?
Yeah.
All right, well. All right.
Look, if we ever do a Star Wars one, I'm going to show you my lightsaber.
Whoa.
Lightsaber print underwear.
Well, I just saw your lightsaber inside your Wonder Woman underwear.
And was that
Don't need
turned
to
on
see
or
it
off?
again.
Oh, the Kyber crystal's not...
That part's not adequate.
I hope you make that sound whenever you and Lisa make love. Yeah. He's like, I'm coming in, baby.
I'm going to take you to the
She's
dark side.
She's like, fuck.
Oh, God, guys. She's like, I get it. You like Star Wars. Shut up.
You fucking nerd.
You really are Wonder Woman because you did reshoots of this movie when you were 5 months pregnant.
I know, it's like the entire family had, joint effort.
So I have a question. What's tougher, being Wonder Woman pregnant or being in the Israeli army, which you were?
I would have to say being a pregnant Wonder Woman. I felt sick the entire time. It's really, really magical. And I think that, once my daughter told me that she doesn't like the beauty sleep because she doesn't do anything, she falls asleep, she doesn't get it, the prince comes, he kisses her, she wakes up and he's the hero. What about, why is the story all about the Sleeping Beauty? But, I think that it's so important that girls and boys have a strong, female figure to look up to. We always had Superman and Batman, which is awesome, but it's also very important for all of us to have like this amazing character.
Okay, so we've all seen Wonder Woman, correct?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. So the first known attempt to make a Wonder Woman film was in 1996 with Ivan Reitman,
Okay.
director of Ghostbusters. But back then, comic book movies were still a big gamble. So that never really went anywhere.
They were a gamble back then.
You said 96?
Yeah, because the only thing really existed at that point were Batman and Superman, and both of them kind of went off a cliff.
That is true.
Yeah. And those were the two most popular superheroes in the world.
I don't know what you guys are talking about. Batman and Robin is one of
Yeah.
the greatest movies of all time.
Okay.
I don't have underwear of that, so how good can it be?
But you do have a bat nipple, a undershirt with some bat nipples
Yes,
on it.
that is true.
Okay, so in 1999, producer Joel Silver, who did The Matrix, he wanted Sandra Bullock to star, and lots of writers tried to get it right, and then couldn't. But at that time, everybody was vying for the role to be Wonder Woman. All these actresses are like, me. And that went from Lucy Lawless to Catherine Zeta-Jones to Mariah Carey, and even China wanted to do it, the wrestler.
China? WWF's? WWE's China?
That would have been amazing.
Oh,
I feel
great.
all of those women would have made great Wonder Women.
I think so, too.
Not Mariah Carey. No, thank you.
Wonder Woman the musical, it'd be fine. It was the 90s, Ian, okay?
So this goes back and forth. Nothing really happens. And then in March of 2005, Silver hired Joss Whedon to write and direct. And it took place in present day with a lot of fish out of water scenes, which kind of, some of that's in the current movie. And a lot of Wonder Woman getting her ass kicked. It's kind of a weird script where it just seems like she keeps misreading the situation and then like getting her butt kicked, which doesn't make a lot of sense because Wonder Woman is the best fighter in the DC universe. So, like, I don't know why he went with that. He worked on the project for 2.5 years.
Whoa.
And
a long time.
in that time, Catwoman was awful. Batman Begins was amazing. Superman Returns was fine. And so they were kind of on this roller coaster. And then Warner Brothers didn't like Whedon's script. And he leaves the project. And hints that he wanted Kobe Smulders was his choice for Wonder Woman.
Yeah, okay.
But rumors had Kate Beckinsale.
Every brunette actress in Hollywood was
really,
considered
100%.
for Wonder Woman at some point. Does she have brown hair? Could play Wonder Woman.
We were going to go out of that, and not just brunettes too. We'll get to that in a minute.
Oh my God, redheads even?
Yes. Okay. So after Whedon leaves, 20 days later, Warner Brothers commissions a Justice League of America movie aiming for a 2009 release. And they were trying to beat the writer's strike. And so people instantly were like, wait a minute, is this going to be with Brandon Routh's Superman and Christian Bale's Batman? Like,
Right.
Those two universes don't really work. Nolan's Batman doesn't really work with other superheroes, real superheroes, right? Because his was all real and gritty and realistic.
Yeah.
And it was called Justice League Mortal. The script was unabashedly a comic book movie. It had the League fighting a mind-controlled Superman and the Flash sacrificing himself by merging with the Speed Force. Truly nerdy shit.
Yes.
It was just balls to the wall comic book movie. And George Miller signed on to direct it. Mm-hmm. But before that, the two movies he had directed before that were Babe 2, Pig in the City, and Happy Feet. So like
Complete departure.
Yeah, like kids films, right?
Yeah.
And so it's like, wait, he's gonna do this? It was a weird choice at the time.
So let's just.
But then you see Fury Road, and you're like, damn, he could have pulled that off.
Yeah, he could have.
Yeah.
I was just gonna say we need to repeat for the audience that the same director who made Mad Max also made Babe 2.
That movie has a huge cult following.
Oh no, I'm not
actually.
saying it's a bad movie. I mean,
it is really random.
Keep that little tidbit in your brain for your next pub trivia night.
So the cast was Armie Hammer was cast as Batman, and this was before anybody knew who he was. Who I think would be actually great.
Yeah,
I can see it.
Nowadays.
He's got the chin. He's got the chin for it.
And the build.
Mm-hmm.
Jay Baruchel was the bad guy.
Really?
Which is random.
As well, like as the Tinkerer. No, that's Marvel.
He's
Tinkerer.
The Weather Wizard.
No,
some Flash villain shit.
No, Maxwell Lord.
Oh, okay.
So
who is that?
He's the villain, and he's the antagonist in 1984 Wonder Woman.
Okay.
Yes, actually, yeah, you're right. Yeah, you're right. Actually, yeah, they adapted him.
Like
he's in the new Wonder Woman. Yeah.
Okay, so he's just like another Lex Luthor type.
Exactly. He's a very smart guy.
Okay.
I don't know what they're doing with him in the new Wonder Woman movie, but you're right. So Armie Hammer as Batman, Common, the rapper, as Green Lantern.
Awesome.
Adam Brody as Flash.
Awesome.
Okay.
DJ Cortana as Superman. Not really sure of his resume. And then Jessica Biel was rumored for Wonder Woman, but it went to the Australian model, Megan Gale. Now in the video, if you watch the video, it kind of goes into like how all that crew went on to do Fury Road, and Megan Gale is the woman that Furiosa meets up with.
Oh, the one who's like naked at the top of the thing as bait?
Yeah.
Yeah.
She was cast as Wonder Woman.
Okay.
Oh, okay, I could see it.
Production was set to start in Australia in February of 2008, but the writer's strike happened, and they were just like throwing all their ideas into it because they couldn't write anymore once they got started. So it was just this massive nonsense script.
There's Gremlins 2 of Justice League.
Yeah, right. Yeah, just all of it. And then the Australian government wasn't going to give Warner Brothers a tax credit because the movie wasn't Australian enough. They didn't think
that's the most Australian thing I've ever heard.
Yeah.
Well, they literally, there was this battle about like the fact that it was this huge Hollywood production in Australia that had all like an all Australian crew. The director's Australian. Teresa Palmer was Talia al Ghul, and Megan Gale's Australian. And so it was just kind of like, what's the problem? And they were even arguing that because they would all be speaking in American accents, it wouldn't be Australian enough.
Oh, why can't Batman speak in Australian? I am the night. I am vengeance. I'm Batman. Good day. Good day.
Good day.
I'm Batman.
Throw another shrimp on the barbie.
Yeah.
Good day. Just
day.
like that. Just peppered throughout. just pepper in some good days. That'll make it really fucking Australian.
Now I just want to do Justice League lines.
Okay, so the Australian government determines that it's not Australian enough. And George Miller's freaking out and he's like, are you kidding? Like, New Zealand made Xena. And that was what they were mainly known for, was making the Xena TV show. And then they went on to make Lord of the Rings, right? And now they're this huge hub of filming, right? And he was like, why? We could create that business here in Australia if we do this. And the Australian government said no. And so then
that
they're
Aussie
like,
pride.
yeah.
Couldn't do it.
So then the writer strikes comes to an end, and then Justice League Mortal quietly died in 2008. Never got beyond there. A random aside, Adam Brody and DJ Cortana did eventually get to play superheroes in Shazam. I thought that was such creative casting.
Yeah.
Okay, in 2011, there was an awful, terrible TV pilot for Wonder Woman starring Adriana Palicki, written by David Kelly, who did like Ally McBeal. And if you look this up, it's fucking terrible. Her outfit looks really stupid. She's a blonde wearing a brunette wig or something, like they dyed her hair or something, but it looks terrible.
How dare she? How dare she take roles from brunette actresses?
Well, okay. So then, also around this time, Nicholas Winding Refn, I always forget how to say his last name.
Refn?
Yeah.
Refn?
Refn.
I know who you're talking about.
He directed Drive. He wanted to make the movie. He was publicly trying to get the movie made. If his Logan's Run remake did well, and that is a movie for another day. If they ever actually remake Logan's Run, that will be a shit show discussion because so many people have been through that. But he wanted Christina Hendricks.
Oh,
interesting.
The redhead. And I'm just going to say it. That is a big boobed Wonder Woman.
Yeah. Big old boobs.
I mean, look, she's a superhero, so it's probably fine because she probably has like magic undergarments that support that. But like, y'all tried to ever run with some big titties? It's hard.
Try doing a fight scene.
It's hard to run. It's hard to pull back a bowstring. Like, you can't do shit with boobs that big. Sorry, Christina. Love you. Amazing in Mad Men.
I think next you're going to tell us
buy
that
it.
Greta the Gremlin also was up for the role.
Yeah.
She had green hair, though.
Did she?
But then, they
right.
had to make her white face, and it's just
there's
got weird. Okay, so then CW, formerly of the
WB.
WB, they made another bad show
The song.
that
no
nobody
one will
would see. It was they were making a prequel series called Themyscira, the island of the Amazonians, called Amazon, and it was written by Alan Hainberg.
Were they trying to capitalize on the popularity of like Smallville?
I guess in Gotham, maybe. Yeah, I don't know. It never went anywhere. But remember Alan Hainberg.
Okay.
So basically, you just have to find out what town the superheroes come from and just make a prequel show.
At least
And name it the name of the town.
Smallville had Clark Kent in it. I don't understand why anybody wants to like Gotham's like it's Gotham before Batman. It's like who the fuck cares?
Yeah, like no one gives a shit. Gotham before Batman.
I
It's
watched-
Metropolis, but without Superman. It's just people living their lives working at a
called,
newspaper.
That's called
It's Newsroom. Newsroom is a prequel to Superman.
and it's like, okay, let's do Spider-Man, before Spider-Man. So just New York.
So just
New York.
just Queens.
Just Queen, yeah.
Just a movie that takes place in Queens.
Yeah, it's called Ghostbusters.
It's called Taxi Driver.
It's called Every Movie Ever Made in New York.
Woody Allen.
Yeah, it's called every Woody Allen movie.
Annie Hall. It was a prequel to Spider-Man. You're welcome.
Okay, so around this time also, Paul Feig, who went on to do like Bridesmaids, director of Bridesmaids, creator of Freaks and Geeks, which January just watched.
We just watched it. Have you seen it?
Isn't like only like 13 episodes?
Oh my God, bro. Go home and watch it. It's so good. It's the best TV show ever made.
I've heard good things about it.
It's awesome.
So he pitched his own idea, an action comedy about Wonder Woman hitting the glass ceiling of the superhero world where none of the other superheroes take her seriously, and like as a comedy. And does that sound familiar?
Isn't like Working Girl?
It sounds like The Boys a little bit.
Also directed by Paul Feig.
Bridesmaids?
Spy. This is the exact plot of Spy.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
That was a funny movie. Jason Statham in that kills me.
So Melissa McCarthy was almost Wonder Woman? Hell yeah,
All the
Melissa.
brunettes.
All the brunettes. Every brunette in Hollywood.
So Warner Brothers passed. They wanted a female director anyway. In 2013, Zack Snyder's Man of Steel was a big hit, and the sequel was to include Batman. And they were like, okay, this is going to kickstart the DC extended universe, trying to catch up to the Avengers. We all know how this goes.
We talked about it. Go listen.
Yes. So then out of nowhere in December of 2013, Gal Gadot, that's how she pronounces it. I got shit about this before. Gadot. She was cast as Wonder Woman in Batman v Superman, Dawn of Justice. She was mostly known for her small part in the Fast and the Furious franchise.
Oh, that's right.
She was in Fast and Furious?
Yeah.
You were getting to those movies.
Those
You're
hit
so excited.
classics.
Yes.
I'm so excited.
Ray, have you seen them?
She's seen the first two.
Yeah. Yes.
Okay.
I was forced to watch the first two
For our bad movie night.
for bad movie night.
Listen. They're amazing.
I've heard they get good, like 4 on. They get
5
they get good.
on.
I think
for
they find their footing and they realize like physics don't
Fuck it.
matter.
These are superhero movies.
And they're really fun.
The log line for the 5th movie is Fast and Furious. Fuck physics.
Yeah.
That's what it says.
That's the last one. So Gadot beat out Olga Karolinko from
That one, James Bond.
Quantum of Solace,
Okay.
and Elodie Young, who was Elektra in the Daredevil TV show. Gadot received quick backlash for how skinny she was, and as I say in the video, this will come back. She clapped back by starting. She started posting photos of herself putting on muscle, like training and whatnot.
Just the policing of women's bodies just never. We're too fat. We're too skinny.
Yeah,
we're
I
too
know.
muscular. We're not fucking muscular enough. Shut up, everybody.
Well,
Sorry.
Shut up, Ian. Fuck you.
Okay. On February 7th, 2014, after 2 decades, Wonder Woman finally made it to the silver screen for the first time in...
Ever. 20 years. 25 years.
in
35 years.
Batman v Superman, Dawn of Justice.
the Lego Movie.
Oh.
Oh.
Ooh.
Oh, yeah.
And there's that bit of trivia that you're probably going to get at too.
Yeah, so that was written by Phil Lord and Chris Miller. They get credit for the accomplishment of finally bringing her for the big screen, and she was voiced by
Kobe Smulders.
Ah.
I don't know if that was just who they wanted or if that was just a reference to Joss Whedon. I don't know, but pretty funny.
It's probably both.
In October, Warner Brothers revealed their DCEU plans, saying Wonder Woman movie would hit in 2017. And they hired Michelle MacLaren, a TV director who did
Game of Thrones
and Breaking Bad. So like, awesome. Great choice.
Boss bitch
right?
director.
Yes, exactly. Her first feature film, awesome. Great. But this is where this report comes out, where they found out that Warner Brothers was rather cruelly hiring multiple writers at the same time to compete for the same job. And so they hired a handful of writers to say, write Wonder Woman, and whoever gets the job gets the job. Best script wins, essentially. Versus just having them all in the same room coming up with the
Working on
best
it
ideas.
Yeah.
There's a real Hunger Games situation.
Yeah, I was gonna say that's like fucking writer's room deathmatch.
Yeah, right?
Battle
Fucked up.
Royale.
And the guy that wrote Pan, the Peter Pan movie with Hugh Jackman,
Oh, right.
Jason Fuchs, he came out on top.
He wiped the blood and sweat from his brow.
Yeah.
Comes out of the writer's room
Snapped
with
another writer's neck and was like, "I've did it!"
he's got keyboard keys like embedded in on
in
his
his head.
forehead. So Michelle McLaren, she wanted to do this huge battle epic like Braveheart. She wanted to go huge with it. But oddly enough, Warner Brothers wanted a more character-driven movie, which is kind of the opposite of what you think of a studio going, no, we want it big and huge, like exciting.
Right.
But they actually wanted it to be more focused on Diana.
To like set up her character for future.
Yeah, just in
movies.
general. So you like her as a character. Right.
Smart.
But that clashes with what McLaren was trying to do. So in April of 2015, she departs, citing the usual
Creative differences.
Yes, awesome.
We've done a few of these podcasts before. We know.
We hear it all the time. We're like, that's so vague, and it's just
Oh,
like
it really
it's
is.
such a cop out too. It's like creative differences. I've heard some people say that. Like,
It's a blanket statement for working with an asshole, not getting paid enough.
Yeah, really.
Studios being too controlling.
I think there's the kind of the Twitter generation, like new stars like John Boyega. He straight flat out calls Disney out on their shit and publicly.
Yeah.
And I'm kind of like excited about that. We talked about how Jessica Chastain was saying how Mark Wahlberg got all this money. And I'm kind of like excited that actors are finally just saying shit out loud going, no, I didn't want to do this for these reasons.
Yeah.
It's great
instead
for
of
the podcast.
Juicy.
That's how excited Ian gets whenever he sees someone tweet some shit.
Yes, exactly. Logged. Okay.
Go ahead and copy paste that into my documents.
your podcast ledger.
Yeah. Yeah. It's just going to do that. Just dust blows everywhere.
Oh, it's not dusty.
Gets out a quill.
So only 2 days later, Patty Jenkins joins as a replacement. So her last film was Monster in 2003. So it's been over a decade since she's done a movie.
Interesting.
Wow.
And she was hired to do Thor 2, The Dark World. And she left for creative differences. Obviously,
Wait.
Was it creative differences?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
And I actually will eventually get to this story about Thor and how Natalie Portman is super pissed about it, and that's why she wasn't in the third one. Anyway, she dropped out, and Warner Brothers were like, "Oh, sweet!" Like she was interested in doing a superhero movie, grabbed her, and she jumped right into it. Developed the story with the DC chief Jeff Johns, who, if you guys remember from the Justice League, he was the guy that kind of came in and started saying to Snyder, like, make it fun, make it funnier. And he kept rewriting the script on the set.
So he's the worst, is what you're saying.
Yeah.
This guy's a motherfucker.
You could argue that he is the reason why Wonder Woman is good or why Justice League is terrible. Okay, so they chose to do the origin story from the relaunched New 52 comic. She's the daughter of Zeus, versus William Marston's original, where she was made from clay.
Right.
At this time, we assumed that Fuchs was on the project, but Warner Brothers at no point said who actually was writing the movie.
Fuchs, that's the Katniss of writers.
Yeah.
Okay. just double checking. Yes. This is the guy who won the Royale. Okay,
yes, the Royale guy.
He wrote that in the ink of his fallen writers.
of the blood of his enemies.
Bob, use a pen.
Never.
Okay, so production begins November 2015. Goes really well for the most part. They had to do some reshoots. This wasn't in the video. I didn't have room for this, but Godot was for Godot was for the reshoots. She was 5 months pregnant.
Oh yeah, I remember hearing
And
that.
so they had to green screen her belly. And she just did all these scenes with the belly. And then
That's
digitally changed it.
Creative.
Wait a minute. They had to digitally take out her pregnant belly.
Mm-hmm.
I did not notice.
I don't know where those scenes, like what scenes that
Yeah.
she had to do the reshoots for. I don't know which ones are what.
But they can't make Cavill's mouth look fine. They can take out an entire pregnant belly, but they can't.
I mean,
It's the uncanny valley thing
yeah.
where you're always staring at a human face,
Oh,
and so you
okay.
notice
Alright, that makes
things that are
sense.
different, weird.
And you have
you're not
to
staring
do
at
a lot
pregnant
of.
belly.
There's a lot more animation.
Not here,
Right.
but like up here.
And it's way easier to just do her suit,
Yeah.
right? Just textures versus
Yeah.
skin.
I'm
And
surpri-
emotes correctly.
I'm surprised she wasn't like, "Am I fat enough for you now, motherfuckers?
Yeah.
Too skinny?"
On March 20th, 2016, Batman vs. Superman Dawn of Justice hit theaters with the first truly big screen appearance of Wonder Woman. Arguably one of the best parts of that movie.
Yeah.
Which David Goyer and Chris Terrio wrote. So they win. They got her to the screen for the first, or live action. And she had very little screen time, but she is widely considered one of the best parts of the movie. And her theme by Hans Zimmer is the shit.
That is cool.
How many other writers did those two have to kill to get that position?
That's the problem. We will never know.
We'll never know. They sweep that shit under the rug.
So in July, Warner Brothers sends a press release detailing the Wonder Woman movie, and it never mentions Katniss Fuchs. And instead said the screenplay was written by Jeff Johns and Alan Heinberg from that Themyscira TV show.
Interesting.
Okay.
So it was like, wait, he was still involved? Like what? And so Heinberg was helping Zack Snyder with the story for Wonder Woman. And then Fuchs came, did some stuff, and then left. And then Heinberg continued and gave it to Patty Jenkins and Jeff Johns to polish up. So it's just this back and forth, like
just lots of different
hungry
people
hippos of
touching the script. I put my hand on it. I was a writer. I put my hand on it.
Yeah. So
Dibs.
He slices his hand and puts his blood on
Yeah.
it. That's mine.
Do a DNA test. That's my blood.
you just walking in the room and there's just two writers with a script between their two teeth and they're just fighting it like dogs.
It is being a writer in Hollywood is cutthroat. It is some cutthroat bullshit.
So, but in the final film, Heinberg has sole credit as the screenwriter.
Okay.
While Snyder, Jeff Johns, and Katniss Fuchs share story credit.
Okay.
So it's a little frustrating not knowing like who the fuck wrote what.
Right.
Right. Like who actually
We'll
wrote
have
this
to
thing.
we'll have to write to the Writers Guild and be like, we want to see your arbitration notes
Yeah.
for Wonder Woman.
Heinberg's like, that bit in the movie about his watch, that was mine.
100% credit. Wonder Woman released on June 2nd, 2017. Reviews were overwhelmingly positive. Finished with a stunning $821 million worldwide on a budget
Damn.
of 150.
Wow.
Whew.
Becomes a social phenomenon about representation in big budget movies, headlined by women, showing women not just being helpless, but as the heroes.
Yep.
Like, you remember, like, all the people just talking about Wonder Woman constantly. And then I remember Jerry, like, I don't want to see it, but I just, like, kind of feel like I
feel
should.
obligated as a woman to see this movie. And you know what? I don't regret it. That was good.
Yeah.
I really, really want to see a Lucy Davis movie. Lucy Davis's character in Wonder Woman, the secretary.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, we need like a World War II era spy thriller with her.
It's called Spy.
I will
Just said it
watch-
back in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Paul Feig, right?
Yeah.
Get on it.
Yeah.
I'd watch the shit out of that. Lucy Davis, put her in there. I'd watch it.
Okay, so there are a total of 8 female-led superhero movies.
Oh, wow.
Starting with Supergirl, 1984, which I cover in my Superman sequels video. Go watch that. I talk about how, like, even though that movie is kind of crap, like, the guys that made it seemed like they were just doing it for money, but they were, like, put a ton of money behind it for the very first superhero movie.
A female superhero movie. Yeah.
And
I mean, it did seem like they were legitimately kind of trying.
You know, like 100%.
Yeah.
And then it took 20 years between that and Catwoman,
Ugh.
which is a horrendous movie.
Ugh.
And then 2005, Elektra. So then another 12 years until Wonder Woman. And then Captain Marvel in 2019. Birds of Prey this year, 2020. Wonder Woman this Christmas. And then next year, Black Widow. So there's there's ever been.
Your roster of lady superhero movies.
Did y'all see Birds of Prey? Oh, you did, yeah. We talked about it earlier.
I watched the hyena scenes of Birds of Prey. That was all I cared to see.
I liked it. I did.
I think it was trying a little too hard, but it was fine.
Some parts of it, I would agree. But I think Margot Robbie as Harley Quinn was pretty spot on.
Can you consider Catwoman a superhero movie? Isn't she technically a villain?
In that movie, she becomes the hero.
She's more of a
anti-hero and the true Catwoman.
Yeah. Unless you're talking about like 1966 Batman where she's like...
I never am, Clint.
What? Son of a bitch.
We get it. You watched it.
It's so good.
I watched the 1966 Batman recently.
Listen, man. Julie Newmar...
She's not as good as Greta the Gremlin, but Julie Newmar.
But she has her moments.
Second.
Oh, I love Batman.
Okay, so before we get to was it worth it, we're going to dive down into the comment section of YouTube.
I don't want to.
Of all these comments. They're quite...
Trolly?
Interesting. Yes, very trolly.
Are they similar to the ones when we did Justice League and we talked about this before, like a lot of the comments where people are like, well, why are you shitting on this movie? I like this movie. It's like, no, watch the video. We're not shitting on it. We're telling you how bad it was to make.
Yeah.
Sometimes we shit on them.
No, the Wonder Woman is a cesspool of misogyny.
Ugh.
And like really bad stuff.
What? On the internet? You don't say. On the YouTubes of all places?
So January has pulled a lot of these comments. So have at it.
I don't want to read these. All right, fine. Okay. So most of the comments are a reaction to the statement that Ian has in the video that says, films like this and Black Panther couldn't have come at a better time. With blatant misogyny and outright racism on the rise, representation matters.
Yeah, trigger.
Which is true. And I agree. But also, yeah, like all kinds of trolls were just like, cracking their knuckles.
Your knuckles legitimately cracked then. I have never seen that before in my life.
I can do that on command.
Like you see it in the movies, I was like, all right, let's take a look at this. Let's hack this computer, crackety crack.
That's me. I do the Foley for all of those. I've been doing it since forever.
I've never actually seen it before in real life. That is a bucket list checked.
We are actually millionaires from all of my knuckle cracking Foley work that I do on the side.
Shit,
so
well, pass that along.
There you go. Yeah. Anyway, so all of those trolls were like, I gotta talk about this. There's a lot of shit about fake news. Lots of crap about...
they give me shit just like, well, you're obviously not paying attention because racism's going the other way. And you're like, oh my God.
And then lots of people saying, I was going to subscribe, but then this SJW virtue signaling crap came up. Yeah. And the other problem too is that people can't, like we were talking about this recently, people can't separate like not liking a movie from... Like we were talking about it with Star Wars, right?
Yeah, Rose from Last Jedi,
right.
And about how like the actress Kelly Tran,
yeah.
she was just bullied like crazy on social media. It was like, do you really think that she wrote her character? Like that she's responsible for the movie? Like,
yeah,
you
it's
dumb
not.
fucks.
It's not her fault. Like, don't bully her for taking a once in a lifetime job. Yeah, okay, her character wasn't great and was totally shoehorned into that movie, and also that movie is a flaming pile of garbage. But it's not her fault. Like, but people can't like separate.
Yeah,
they're like, I'm gonna go attack that actress because she was in a movie that I was mad about, and it's like, everybody, calm the fuck down.
Yeah.
Anyway, okay, let's see. First quote here. This jabroni says, "This dude is a super soy boy." Which, I mean, he's not wrong.
I'm going to call you Super Soy Boy from now on.
That's your new Super Soy Boy.
No, I got called I changed it on my Twitter profile at one point. Someone called me a beta cuck or something like that. That was like, and apparently a beta cuck on my Twitter profile.
Yeah. Also, can't disagree with that statement. There's some pretty crazy role playing in our sex lives. So.
This is the best episode ever. We're talking about my underwear, talking about your sex life.
And then this gentleman says, "Nice recap of the history of Wonder Woman film, followed by another baseless attack on males." On males? On men?
It's such
on men, perhaps, sir. Racism on the rise, WTF. Remember, it's the ones pointing fingers that are doing that. Looks like another competitor for the Oppression Olympics.
The Oppression Olympics? Goodness.
Go me!
Yeah.
Gold medal.
You got a gold medal. You're the Michael Phelps of the Oppression Olympics.
This is from someone who went to college. He wrote, "I think it's quite a reductive attitude from you to portray everybody who disliked both Wonder Woman and Black Panther as trolls."
Okay, that shit comes up a lot when I would say stuff like in my Fantastic Four video, I said that like there was a lot of hate because Michael B. Jordan was cast as Johnny Storm because he was black, and I said like the racist trolls came out in droves. Then people were like, just because I didn't like his casting doesn't make him racist. And it was like, was I calling on you? Are you doth protest too much? Like,
yeah.
Like, I didn't say everybody who doesn't like this movie is a racist. I just said racists came out and were mad about this. So that shit is just...
The fact that you're taking issue with it means there's something else going on.
Yeah,
here.
exactly.
Yeah. And then this person said, "You could tell by his voice that he likely doesn't have access to regular or occasional sex." Also correct. So So advertising himself as a submissive who will say whatever to an insecure female wants him to is pretty much his only chance. Gotta do what you gotta do.
Yeah. Okay.
Sounds like he's
Size
actually
me up.
It sounds like he's actually looking out for you.
Yeah. He's like, bro, I get it. You gotta do what you gotta do.
It, bro.
I'm in the same boat.
No women like me.
Okay, other random dick comments. Not comments about dicks, just comments from dicks.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, representation. Where's my fat, middle-aged, balding superhero with a bad knee? I want to identify as well. You know what? I agree.
I kind of do too.
This guy needs a superhero that he can identify with.
I need one that's got ankylosing spondylitis.
Yeah.
Look it up.
This person says, "This movie was garbage in every possible way. Starting with picking a frail, flat-chested Wonder Woman with the ass of a 10-year-old boy. Come on now. You're just jealous." And again, sorry to bring this back up, but like you can't do too much with really big titties. So so it's just about background production issues because the actual movie was good. Not sure if moviegoers care about the movie's production problems or cost overruns.
It's literally film history.
Yeah.
It's what it is.
I mean, our 200 subscribers prove you otherwise. So.
Dust off the shoulder.
Yeah.
It's niche, very niche.
Lots of comments about Blade. Black Panther, first on-screen black superhero. No, it was Blade.
Okay, there's this thing where people keep saying that Blade kickstarted the superhero fad because it was the first big superhero property big budget one, but it wasn't actually a huge hit. It was kind of a mild hit. It was based on a little known property. Most people who saw it didn't even know it was a comic book.
Right.
I didn't know it was a comic book.
It was rated R. And so it didn't make that much money. And it's not technically a superhero movie. And after that, X-Men did really well. And then Spider-Man was huge. So I always say, I can't remember my WTF videos that I mentioned Blade being just kind of a side note. And in my Iron Man video, I made a deliberate attempt where I said, Blade was a modest hit. A much bigger hit followed with X-Men. And I don't know why people like stick to this, but there's this little tint of the comments that make it sound like they keep saying Blade was the first one to do it as a way to not seem racist. Like, I don't know what it is, but it's just
I just
like,
think that nerds on the internet like sounding smart about things.
That's probably true.
They're just like, I gotta get my comment in there to sound smart about stuff.
But it's just like this weirdest thing to just pick on. And it's like, no, this is what started. It was Blade. And it was like, no, not really.
All right, let's see to this list. There's lots of comments saying it was World War I, not World War II.
Yeah, I saw that too. That was weird because what I was saying, I was showing footage from the movie where it does take place in World War I, but I was talking about another draft of the screenplay saying it was World War II. And so people just can't put two thoughts in their brain. And no!
People are not great at listening
No.
to things or subtlety or nuance or anything like that. So
What?
exactly.
I have Wonder Woman underwear.
It's as nuanced as you can get.
Speaking of not being great at nuance, Clint just gets his dick out every podcast.
You're gonna get me in trouble, Ray.
I'll be like, Lisa, here's some timestamps. Listen to the podcast at this minute.
You hear the flop sound?
More like a thunk.
Yeah. A kerplop. A kerplop, perhaps?
Yeah, that's the sound effect we put in.
Ray's Foley.
Yeah. The knuckles. Yeah. Knuckle cracking. All right. Someone giving you props for this tongue twister. Singer's Superman sequel still without a script.
Awesome.
Excellent.
Which is funny because you know how much I struggle doing my narration.
With reading. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yeah, the dyslexia hits me a lot, and that was a line I never even thought about twice. I think I read it once, and then someone pointed it out, and it was all, thanks, man.
Yeah.
The line before that, I recorded probably 70 other times.
He was walking around the house going, Singer Superman sequel still without a script. Singer Superman sequel still without a script. Singer Superman sequel, like that.
Did not even know it was a tongue twister until someone put it in a comment.
That's awesome.
And now all the positive stuff. Funny that mentioning the importance of representation is considered trolling.
Right.
In saying that such innocent comments like racism and sexism are bad triggered so many people really kind of proves his point.
Right.
The triggered man children in the comments rather prove your point.
Yeah.
Right.
Ooh, so many trolls in the comments section are sad. Why is everyone upset with the facts he stated at the end? If anything, I thought it was positive.
Right.
Forget all these bros getting personally attacked by the mention of sexism at the end. Keep doing what you're doing, man. This video was informative. You weren't pandering at all.
Thank you.
Love your final message. Couldn't agree more. More diversity and representation to balance out the haters and bigots is very important. It's nice to have such a good character for our daughters to look up to. Mine already said Wonder Woman is her all-time favorite and wants to do good like her. Aww,
yeah, you know, I really like that.
That's
I
sweet.
love that because there's been a big backlash on superhero movies lately about how there's so many of them and kids growing up thinking that they're going to wait for a superhero to save them. And that's like this big thing, this thought that we're kind of creating with all these superhero movies. But I grew up on superhero movies and the Batman TV show, and I didn't think to myself going, oh, I can't wait for Batman to save me from this scenario, whatever. I wanted to be Batman. I wanted to be Spider-Man. That's why you dressed up as them as Halloween. Like you wanted to be those heroes. You wanted to be cool. You wanted to be a hero. So I think that's just kind of stupid.
I agree. That's the whole point of a role model.
Yeah.
There's someone to look up to emulate that have good qualities.
Yeah. And it's about time like little girls and other like kids had superheroes to look up to.
Yeah, and the best part of Wonder Woman to me was the part where little Diana is watching all the Amazonians train, and she's sitting there like mimicking the fighting.
Oh my god!
Seriously, the best moment in that entire movie.
The cutest. And then this person said, "Damn, your wrap up in this vid hits you right in the feels. Great job." That's very true. I literally almost started crying. And then lastly, someone says your research is always so shallow and incomplete.
Fuck you. Fuck you. Fuck you. Oh my god, I hate
this is now
that's the shit. You can call me a beta cuck. You can call me a soy boy. You can say that I don't get access to regular sex. Fuck you. My research is shallow. You know how much fucking work this stuff takes?
That's why you're not getting regular sex. You're doing too much research all the time.
Yeah.
That's why.
Oh my god, I've a couple of times someone have said that, and that just like made me so angry. It's like, fuck you. You don't watch 3 panels, hour-long panels to find the one nugget of audio that I need, or read the same story by 10 different outlets to find the one nugget that's different from all the others.
Yep.
Jenny Ray standing in the doorway in some lingerie, like, hey, Ian. He's like, shut up. I got to figure out how much money this movie made.
Research! What's the difference between Box Office Mojo and the numbers? This one says, the numbers.com says it was this much money it made.
Okay, all right.
I'll be in here by myself.
I'm like, I'm in the doorway, like rolling my shoulder.
Yeah, like, hey,
hot stuff. And he's just like, I'm doing research. God.
Yeah.
Oh my god, I hate that. Was Wonder Woman worth it?
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah, absolutely.
100%.
I mean, I'm sure we're gonna get all kinds of bullshit Justice League movies that come after it, but for the representation alone and for all the little girls who saw that and are like, I want to be just like Wonder Woman, like I want to do good things, like that's awesome.
Yeah, no, my daughter was Wonder Woman for Halloween like a year or two ago, and it was the coolest thing to see. It was amazing.
I think the movie is pretty good. It has some problems here and there. A lot of people hate the ending for it being a little cartoony. I actually don't mind that.
Oh yeah,
I think the fish out of water stuff is hysterical.
Yeah.
With Chris Pine in Themyscira and then her in the modern world.
Right.
Like,
and coming from a world where oppression of women doesn't exist to a world where that's literally all that exists, and just being like, I'm sorry, what's happening?
Yeah.
I'm not allowed to just do whatever the hell I want?
And Chris Pine's character is actually really fascinating because he's written like a female character in a movie, where he is the one usually in trouble that she has to save. And he has the sequence where he's naked and we get to ogle his body. And it's just like, it was very clever.
Yeah. It's like he gets subjectified and
Chris Pine, more like Chris Pine Tree.
In the pants. Well, that took away from the serious comment.
We were trying to be serious about women's rights and nuance. Look, we can't even do nuance right.
No, sorry, that's my fault.
I
just bring it all down.
But it was definitely worth it.
Absolutely.
Happy holidays, everybody. See you next year.
Fuck 2020.